There is a chickadee on your feeder right now. Or there was one this morning, your chickadee, the small one, the one with the black cap that looks almost too perfect, like someone painted it on. It landed, took a seed, and was gone in 4 seconds. You watched it, you noticed it. But here is what you did not know, it was watching you too. Not your yard, not the feeder. You. The shape of you behind that kitchen window. The way you moved this morning, slowly, coffee in hand, still waking up. The way you paused at the glass. The way you tilted your head. Your chickadee filed all of it away. It has been building a profile of you for weeks, maybe months. A detailed, accurate, constantly updated picture of who you are, how you move, and whether you are safe. And this morning, before you finished your first cup of coffee, your bird had already made a decision about you. You just didn't know it was being made. Subscribe to Backyard Bird Whisper before you leave, because what you are about to learn has changed the way thousands of people see the yard outside their window. Here is what almost every person who has ever watched birds believes, and here is why they have never been more wrong. You believe the relationship flows one way. You watch them, you notice them, you learn their habits, their patterns, their favorite perches. They, meanwhile, are simply living, unaware of you as anything more than a large shape near a food source. Science tells a different story entirely. Your birds are not ignoring you. They are studying you, actively, continuously, with a level of individual recognition that researchers spent years refusing to believe was possible in a backyard songbird. They know your face. They know your walk. They know the difference between the way you move on a Tuesday morning when you're running late versus a slow Sunday when you linger at the window. They have categorized you, filed you, assigned you a threat level that they share, yes, share, why, with other birds in your yard. You are not the observer in your backyard. You are also the observed. Here is the study that changed everything. Dr. John Marzluff at the University of Washington conducted a now famous experiment. Researchers wore specific masks while trapping and banding crows on campus. Dangerous masks, the ones that meant capture and handling. Neutral masks, the ones that meant nothing. Months later, and in documented follow-up studies over 2 years later, without a single additional encounter, the same researchers walked the same campus wearing those same masks. The crows who had been trapped, and their offspring, and crows who had never been trapped but had only watched, mobbed the dangerous mask wearers, scolded them, dive-bombed them, left the neutral mask wearers completely alone. Plain English, crows remembered a specific human face, held a grudge for over 2 years, and taught that grudge to birds who had never even met the person. But here is where it gets closer to your yard. Project Feeder Watch data, compiled across thousands of backyards in North America, consistently shows that birds at feeders with stable, predictable human presence habituate faster, approach closer, and return more reliably than birds at feeders where human behavior is erratic or unpredictable. The variable is not the food. The variable is you, specifically your consistency, your movements, and your patterns. Your birds are not responding to a feeder. They are responding to you, and they have been taking notes since the first morning you stood at that window. If the bird you watch most is a chickadee, here is exactly what it has noticed about you. Chickadees are among the most socially intelligent birds that visit backyard feeders. They operate in small flocks with complex dominance hierarchies, and they extend that social intelligence outward to include the humans near their territory. Research published in the journal Animal Behavior shows that black-capped chickadees adjust their alarm call behavior based on individual human identity. They call differently, at different volumes, different urgencies, depending on which specific person is approaching. Your chickadee does not just know that a human is near. It knows that you are near. It has learned your silhouette, the particular way your shoulders sit, whether you walk fast or slow, whether you make sudden movements or smooth ones. It has learned that you are not a threat, and that distinction is not minor. That distinction is the difference between a bird that flushes 50 feet at your approach and one that stays on the feeder when you open the back door. If your chickadee holds its ground when you step outside, that is not familiarity. That is trust, earned trust, the kind that takes weeks to build and can be lost in a single, startling movement. Do not take it for granted. Now, if the bird you watch most is a cardinal, The story deepens. Cardinals are more cautious than chickadees. They are larger, more visible, and more vulnerable on open feeders. Their threat assessment is slower, but once made, it holds longer. A cardinal that has decided you are safe will approach within feet of you in the yard. A cardinal that has decided otherwise will vanish to the back of your property the moment you appear. The determining factor, according to Dr. Marzluff's broader research on avian human recognition, is almost always behavioral consistency. How you move. Whether you make eye contact, birds read direct eye contact as predatory. Whether you linger or pass through. Whether your presence near the feeder is calm and predictable or hurried and erratic. Your male cardinal, the one with the slightly crooked tail feather, has been running this calculation every single day. And by now, he has an answer. If he's still there when you open the door, you passed. Now, if the bird at your window most often is a blue jay, the picture gets more complex still. Blue jays are among the most cognitively sophisticated birds in the American backyard. They have been observed using tools. They cache food with spatial precision that rivals squirrels. And they are vocal communicators of extraordinary nuance. Their calls contain layered information about predator type, predator location, and predator behavior. They also share information about you. Blue jays have been documented in field research producing specific calls when familiar humans appear near their territory, calls that appear to function as identity signals to other jays in the area. Your blue jay does not just know your face. It may be announcing your presence, by name in the only language it has, to every other bird within earshot. When the yard goes quiet as you step outside, it is not coincidence. Your blue jay may have just introduced you. I want you to think about something. Every morning you've stood at that window, tired, distracted, coffee cooling in your hand. Your birds were watching you, cataloging you, making small, continuous decisions about whether the large creature behind the glass could be trusted. And most mornings, they decided yes. That is not automatic. That is not guaranteed. There are yards with feeders, stocked feeders, good feeders, and the birds flush every time the door opens, every time a shadow crosses the window, every time a human moves too fast in the wrong direction. Those birds never decided to trust, and no amount of seed changes that. Your birds decided differently, about you specifically. Not the house, not the feeder. You, your pace, your stillness, your particular way of standing at the glass on a cold morning. A wild animal, running a survival calculation every waking second, looked at you and concluded, safe. Return to. Worth staying near. You passed a test you didn't know you were taking. And here is the part that stays with me. They couldn't have known you were trying. Birds don't factor in intention. They don't know you filled the feeder in the rain, or that you looked up the right seeds, or that you've been watching them longer than you've admitted to anyone. They only know what they observe. Your behavior, your consistency, your presence. And from that alone, just from watching you move through your life on the other side of a kitchen window, they decided you were worth trusting. That is not nothing. That is one of the most honest assessments anyone will ever make of you. Here is what you can do today to deepen what your birds already know about you. Tip 1. Choose one window and use it every single day. Same window, same time, same position. Birds learn human patterns through repetition. Dr. Marzluff's research shows that avian recognition of individual humans is strengthened by consistent, predictable exposure. Same location, same routine. Pick the window closest to your feeder. Stand there every morning for 5 minutes. Don't vary it, don't rush it. Within 2 weeks, your birds will adjust their flush distance, the distance at which they fly away from your approach, specifically for you, at that window, at that time. Your stillness becomes a signal. Your routine becomes a promise. Stand there every morning, and one day your chickadee will stay on the feeder when you open the window, because it knows it's you. Tip 2. Never make direct, sustained eye contact with a bird you are trying to habituate. This sounds small. It is not small. Across all predator-prey relationships in nature, direct eye contact signals threat. Birds read it instantly. Watch your cardinal from a slight angle. Let your gaze fall near the feeder, not locked on the bird itself. Use peripheral vision. Move your eyes slowly. Research on raptor behavior shows that even large birds relax measurably when a human shifts from direct gaze to an angled one. Your cardinal is running the same ancient calculation. Give it the answer it needs. Look near them, not at them, and one morning your cardinal will be close enough that you can hear it breathing. Tip 3. Lower your movement speed near the feeder by half. Not a little. Half. Birds do not fear stillness. They fear sudden change. A slow human is a known quantity. A fast human triggers the same neural response as a striking hawk. Speed equals threat across almost every prey species studied. When you move near windows, near doors, near any space your birds can see, slow down deliberately. Approach your kitchen window in 3 steps instead of 1. Open the back door in 4 seconds instead of 1. This single change, nothing else, just speed, has been shown in backyard bird habituation studies to reduce flush distance by up to 40% within 3 weeks. Move at half speed, and your birds will halve the distance they keep between themselves and you. Your chickadee is out there right now, the one with the too perfect black cap. It landed on your feeder this morning and was gone in 4 seconds, and in those 4 seconds it confirmed what it already knew, that the shape behind the glass is familiar, that the movements are slow, that this yard is safe. It has been building that conclusion, quietly, patiently, since the first morning you stood at that window. You didn't know you were being evaluated. You didn't know the relationship ran both ways. You didn't know that a creature weighing less than a handful of coins had catalogued your face, your walk, your habits, and filed them under. Trusted. But it did. And now you know. Subscribe to Backyard Bird Whisper, because the most extraordinary wildlife on Earth is not in a jungle or a nature documentary. It is 12 feet from your kitchen window. Next week, your birds are sick, and they are hiding it from you completely. A backyard bird showing any sign of weakness is a bird that does not survive the afternoon. So they have evolved something extraordinary, the ability to appear perfectly healthy when they are not. We are going to look at what the signs actually are, the ones almost no one catches, and what your bird needs from you when it's fighting something you cannot see. I will see you there. Tell me in the comments, have you ever had a moment where you felt like a bird was actually watching you? Not just the feeder, but you. I read every single one. These are the stories I carry longest.